Hello, and thank you for being here. Tonight's story is not about a crime scene, or a courtroom, or a confession. It's about a young woman who vanished on a cold winter night in New Hampshire. A disappearance without a witness, without a body, without a clear answer. Her name was Maura Murray. She was 21 years old. And in February of 2004, she simply disappeared. This is her story, and the mystery that still surrounds it. Maura Murray was a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She was intelligent, driven, and athletic. People who knew her called her responsible and organized. She grew up in a close family, and her father, Fred Murray, was deeply involved in her life. Her friends described her as quiet, thoughtful, and private. On the outside, in early 2004, Maura's life appeared completely normal. She had school, work, friends, and family. But beneath the surface, there were some signs of stress. Months earlier, she'd been involved in a minor shoplifting incident. More recently, she had been in a car accident while driving her father's vehicle. In the days leading up to her disappearance, she appeared emotionally overwhelmed. Nothing extreme, nothing that would suggest she was about to vanish. But there were signs of pressure, fatigue, and inner conflict. She was a young woman trying to hold everything together, like so many students her age. Then came February 9, 2004. On the afternoon of February 9th, Maura sent an email to her professors and her employer. She told them she would be away for a few days because of a family emergency. The thing is, there was no known family emergency. She packed some clothes, printed out directions, withdrew cash from an ATM, and bought some alcohol. Then she left campus in her black satin sedan. To this day, no one knows exactly where she planned to go. That evening, Maura was driving through rural New Hampshire, near the town of Haverhill. Her car went off the road and crashed into a snowbank along Route 112. It was a minor accident. The car was damaged, but still drivable. A local bus driver, Butch Atwood, was passing by and stopped to see if she needed help. Maura told him she had already called for roadside assistance and politely declined his offer. So, he drove on. When the police arrived about 10 minutes later, Maura was gone. Her car was locked. Her personal belongings were still inside. There were no clear footprints leading away from the scene. No signs of a struggle. No witnesses. No Maura. She had completely vanished into the winter night. The police immediately treated the case as a missing person investigation. Search teams combed the woods. K9 units were brought in. Helicopters scoured the area from above. Volunteers joined the massive effort. But there was no trail. No physical evidence. No confirmed sightings of her after she spoke with the bus driver. Some believed she simply ran into the woods and succumbed to the cold, but no body was ever found. Others theorized she was picked up by a passing driver, either someone she knew or a complete stranger. But no confirmed witness ever came forward to support that. There were no phone records placing her anywhere else. No financial activity after the crash. No digital trail whatsoever. Her trail just ended, right there on that dark road. The case quickly became complicated by rampant speculation, countless theories, and conflicting narratives. Some were convinced Maura was intentionally running away to start a new life. Others believed she met with foul play. Some thought it was an accidental death, with her body hidden by the harsh winter environment. But none of these theories had any concrete proof. They were all just possibilities. Because of this, there were never any arrests. No suspects were ever officially charged. The case never moved into a criminal trial phase. Instead, it became a long, frustrating, and unresolved investigation. Maura's family never gave up searching. Her father, Fred, returned to New Hampshire again and again, year after year. Private investigators were hired. New searches were organized. Over time, media attention grew, and large true crime communities formed online, all dedicated to solving the case. But despite the national attention and thousands of hours spent investigating, there was still no answers. There was no evidence strong enough to close the case. No confirmation that she was alive, and no confirmation of her death. The Maura Murray case remains one of the most debated and haunting disappearances in modern true crime. The key questions are still unanswered. Why did she suddenly leave campus? Where was she really going? Why did she decline help from the bus driver at the crash scene? And how did she disappear so completely, so quickly? Did she leave on foot into the freezing woods? Was she picked up by someone? Did she intend to vanish, or did something terrible happen to her? The total lack of evidence allows every theory to seem possible, but it confirms none of them. And that is what makes this case so uniquely haunting. There is no clear villain, no confirmed crime scene, no proven outcome. Just a young woman who vanished, and a family left waiting for answers that may never come. Maura Murray was not just a mystery. She was a daughter, a sister, a student, a friend. A young woman trying to navigate the complexities of life. Her disappearance is not just a case file. It is a profoundly human story. A story of uncertainty, of loss, and of questions that have echoed for nearly 2 decades without an answer. If you have any thoughts, theories, or reflections on this case, I invite you to share them respectfully in the comments below. If you value thoughtful true crime storytelling, please consider subscribing for more documentaries like this. And as always, remember the person behind the headline. Thank you for listening.